legacy of the guilty men. This crisis is now very close indeed.
And to updates on the Israel-Hamas war, the Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says at least 71 Palestinians have been killed in an Israeli airstrike on a designated humanitarian area in an attack which Israel says targeted a senior Hamas leader. According to the health ministry statement, more than 289 people were injured. We have details in the reports.
Hamas says the strike hit the Al-Mawasi area near Khan Yunis, which the Israeli military has designated as a humanitarian zone, urging Palestinians to seek shelter there. An Israeli official said the strike targeted the head of Hamas's military wing, Mohammed Deif, in an area where there were only Hamas terrorists and no civilians. Israel's Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, will hold security talks through the day, his office has said. An eyewitness in Al-Mawasi said the site of the strike looked like an earthquake had hit it, and videos from the area show smoldering wreckage and bloodied casualties being loaded onto stretchers. People can be seen trying desperately to peek through the rubble of a large crater with their hands. Footage from the nearby Kuwait Field Hospital showed scenes of chaos, with patients being treated on the floor. A Hamas official called the attack a grave escalation that showed Israel was not interested in reaching a ceasefire agreement. Mohammed Deif, the head of Hamas's military wing, the Al-Qassam Brigade, is a top target for Israel's military. Deif has near-mythical status in Gaza after escaping capture and surviving several assassination attempts. He is believed to be one of the masterminds behind the 7th of October Hamas attack, when about 1,200 Israelis and foreigners, mostly civilians, were killed and 251 others were taken back to Gaza as hostages. It led to the major Israeli military operation in Gaza, which has killed more than 38,000 Palestinians, according to the Hamas-run health ministry.
Now let's turn our attention to another war-ravaged country, Ukraine. Kyiv is gradually recovering from the aftermath of the Russian missile attack on Monday, and despite the destruction of blood center and radiology department have been reopened at the Children's Hospital. As for the reconstruction in general, it is known that at least 2 buildings will be demolished. Instead, another one will be built, the country's health minister has assured. A new one will also be rebuilt where children's lives were saved in the state-of-the-art operating theaters before the Russian terrorist attack. In another location, epicenter of the attack was on the top of the floor where one of the medical institutions was operating. And despite the serious damage and suspended operations, the other wing of the medical center is still open. Search and rescue operations there have been completed. However, rubble and construction debris are still being cleared in the district of Kyiv. There, a rocket fragment destroyed a kindergarten and 37 residential buildings. And it's still on to the world now on TVC News. We'll be back with more stories after this break. Stay with us.